Welcome, everybody, to another Highly Informed. I am your host, Edvin Imperial, and today's episode, I am very excited because we have a good friend of the Dispensary here today. He is honestly, I'm going to let him do his introduction. I have Arturo Cecena. Did I say that correctly?
Yes, you did.
From Nothing to Do LV here at the podcast studio. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. It's an honor to be here. I feel like anytime we get a chance to have a voice to our story, it kind of amplifies what we're trying to do in the world. So first off, my name is Arturo Cecena Jr. I'm a junior, and I'm from Indio, California. Been living in Las Vegas since 2009. I go by the name of MPART. MP stands for Mystical Popper. Mm-hmm. I've been dancing since I was like a little kid and been like really strong starting off in high school. Mm-hmm. So I keep the MP and the art because it represents both sides of me, the character side and then the reality side, the down to earth side. So I kind of bring both of those things to my name whenever I either perform or host. And in Las Vegas, I'm known as the voice of Las Vegas from my peers just because I host almost everything. But what people don't know is that I'm active as a dancer as much as I am as a host, and I actively do graphic design and some social media video content with Nothing to Do LV.
So every single First Friday flyer has been you?
Yes, sir.
For 8 years running?
Yeah, I would say like maybe 7 years because Steve used to do the flyers at first. And then I'm just very like meticulous on like wanting things to look a certain way, you know?
Yeah.
So I took over, he loved it, and it's like less of a task for him. So he's super happy that I do it.
Yeah.
And what's beautiful about that is that it's kind of segued into other gigs that I've had to do that. And I wasn't really necessarily doing the flyers to build a business out of it, but I've gotten business out of it, which is dope.
Well, really quick, since you do the designs for a lot of your flyers, what kind of apps are you using right now?
You know, I first started off with like Photoshop and like Adobe Illustrator and all that good stuff. And then once Canva was introduced into the into the mix, it was kind of looked at like how people look at AI now.
Yeah.
But the difference is that I look at it as like more of a collage-based program, and it's fast, right? Mm-hmm. So since I do have an art background and I have worked with other programs, it's easy for me to manipulate it and make it work the way I want. Plus, I add in my own photos and I change my layouts and I'll draw like lettering and do like wording and stuff like that. So you can take something that's super simple to the world, but like you still have to have the artist hand, right? The artist mind, the artist eye. Mm-hmm. So yeah, Canva is something I really use. It's really dope.
It's so useful. So anybody talking crap about Canva, you need to get out of here. You just don't got the sauce.
Yeah, for real.
So you've said growing up, your Uncle Marvin and your brother turned your living room into a Soul Train meets quinceañera hybrid.
Oh yeah.
How did watching them hype up family parties shape the way you read a massive room today?
You know, the gatherings always start at home, right? Mm-hmm. You understand the gathering from your home, from your neighborhood, from your apartment complex, just like your city, your community, whatever that looks like. But for me, you know, I have my grandfather and my grandmother. They were remarried. So my original grandmother married my grandfather, the new one that came in, and they both had like 6 to 8 kids on each side. They're like the Mexican Brady Bunch.
Bro.
So you can imagine.
Were you like the older, or were you in the mix?
No, my mom's the oldest.
Yeah.
So like my grandparents raised me. Mm-hmm. So living in my grandparents' house, you're having like 8 kids from each side of the family, like bring their families to our house. And, you know, with economics and stuff like that, a lot of my aunts and uncles used to live with us. Mm-hmm. So it was like, it was never like just like the core family. It's always been like more family. And then when you do birthdays, everybody has a birthday, everybody has like something going on. So like, you know, Mexican families utilize their house as a space to have these functions. So my grandparents' place was the party spot. It was like the club or whatever.
Yeah.
So my grandfather was a radio announcer. He did like Mexican radio.
His name was Art Science?
No. This you're talking about the Art Science that lives out here. Shout out to Art Science.
I'm getting ahead of my research.
He's amazing, by the way. He's a host out here and a curator of like a lot of hip hop stuff. But my grandfather Raymond, he was a radio announcer, and so he had like a lot of records, and he played like mainly like Mexican, norteño, like ranchero music and stuff like that. Kind of like in the Johnny Canales era, which is like one of the TV shows that introduced like the singer Selena. Mm-hmm. So we had a lot of that music being played in the house. So, you know, we would always be dancing and stuff like that. And then my uncle, which is my grandfather's youngest son, my uncle Marvin, the one that passed away, he was a DJ. So he would have like all the new stuff. And then one of my aunts, her husband, my uncle Tony, he was a DJ as well. So whenever they would come to the house, they would kind of like wait for a good chance to switch the music. Yeah. So we went from like listening to like quinceañera music and people drinking to like straight up like Planet Rock and like Funky Little Beat and like all the like the early hip hop party vibes. And then, you know, you throw in all like the really cool R&B, New Kids on the Block vibe with, you know, Michael Jackson. Everybody loved Michael Jackson back then. Yeah. So, you know, it was a really good switch up of cultures. You have like the traditional Mexican, Latin culture meets the pop, hip hop era in one space, you know? That's beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. And to me, being from that spot where like knowing that like as much as we're more connected to the youth space of music, there's still something beautiful about traditional music that like you have to allow in the space. So like whenever I do events, I'm always looking at it as a perspective of like, okay, Vegas is like a melting pot and like a water hole, and it brings so many people from around the world. It's like, how do I honor somebody from Australia, somebody from England, somebody from, you know, Canada, or like even Mexico? Like how do I include them into the space, you know? So you definitely want to like slow down and step back and kind of like allow people's cultures to be a part of what you're doing, because, you know, with hip hop, what's beautiful, like most people from other countries don't know English, but they know what it feels like. So that's how I kind of approach it. It's like, you might not know what I'm saying or who I am, but you're going to know how I feel when I talk to you. Mm-hmm. So that's how I kind of utilize those worlds in this space.
Yeah. When it comes to like Latin music, dude, I don't know anything they're saying, but it gets my feet going.
Bro, it's just it's like a frequency, right? It's just like it's a move, it's a push. Mm-hmm. You know, like people like, you know, my name is super Mexican. It's like Arturo Cecena Jr. It's like hella Mexican. Yeah. But it's like, you know, I was raised by like an Americanized family unit. So like my grandparents knew Spanish, but they wanted us to know English more, just because so we wouldn't be kind of like looked down upon. And, you know, it's kind of like that whiteness thing. Like if you're kind of white passing, you do a little bit better. Yeah. And you know, my grandfather was in the Navy, so that kind of like was even more drilled into him.
We have a term for that in Filipino culture.
What is it called?
Mestizo, mestiza.
Yeah.
And I am a mestizo. Yeah. And from the beginning, when you're like, I was born in the Philippines, so from the beginning, they teach you English. They tell you that your nose has to be. They pinch your nose to make it straighter, and then, like, I understand that whole being looked down upon for not knowing English.
Yeah, and my house is like, we couldn't get certain haircuts. Like, they didn't want us to look too Chicano, like too gangster. They didn't want us to do all these things. But, you know, regardless, it's like we're gonna be around our people. We're gonna be around the language and the feeling of it. So, you know, listening to Mexican music, even though I don't know what it says because my grandparents didn't really teach us that. Mm-hmm. It's like, you know what the vibe is, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, and I think the world kind of like understands that now, especially with like the Bad Bunny movement and how he was in the Super Bowl. Yeah. Like I hosted an event at Gold Spike and it's like tons of white ladies just dancing. Everybody dancing. And I've been doing that event at Gold Spike for years, bro. And like you've had Usher on there, you've had like so many amazing artists that performed at that space, Kendrick Lamar, and there wasn't as many people dancing in my whole entire time of doing that Super Bowl until that day. So it shows you how universal like sound and music is, you know, like and if something has an upbeat space and makes you want to dance, you're gonna do it regardless of the language.
Man, you know how Well, I listen to some Filipino music, and then they clearly like jocked a bunch of like contemporary rap songs,
Okay.
and it sounds just like a Travis Scott song.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering. I'm like, are white dudes like trying to do some reggaeton? Like, are they trying to like jock that Bad Bunny style?
Bro, do you know, like people don't know this. It's like, some people do. I shouldn't say they don't. Like, reggae has been popularly like taken on by other cultures. Like, there's a huge islander culture of reggae, and they're not from Jamaica.
Oh, dude, they're like the Hawaiians, like Common Kings.
Yeah, so like, but they're representing like Jamaican music. You have, like EB40. I grew up with EB40, and EB40 is like from like London or something like, and it's like it's when you have instruments and like you have intention with your sound, it's like so universal, bro. Like, and I know like out of all the different music genres, you'll never see really like the people who originated the music hate on other people doing it.
Yeah,
They're like they're super glad that the vibration and the feelings being spread around the world.
yeah.
Yeah.
You make me think about working on my like Irie accent.
Oh my gosh, it's funny to see to have a friend that's like regular and then they start doing it. But it's like hip hop too. Like hip hop has its own slang and its own vibe, and it's like you speak to your people different. So I understand it, and it's the same thing with like Texas or like the Midwest. Like you have people that speak in twang that don't speak like that, but when you're around those people so much, it's like you're just gonna pick it up. Just like the Islanders, like the brother, like
Yeah.
hey, like all the stuff that they say, like
Yeah, it's kind of like a cat that grew up around huskies. The cat starts acting like other way around. The husky starts acting like a cat.
yo, and it's not so much like trying to emulate out of like making fun. It's just it's about like I feel like it's people wanting to be together in the same experience and the same vibe. I think that to me that's what it is.
I totally agree with that. I think the whole idea of appropriation is just a little too overblown. It just got to come from a place of authenticity and respect, and not a parody. I think that's if you're coming from that place, go for it.
I'm very big on when it comes to like that idea of like appropriation of just like yes, fall in love with something blindly and fall in the pool and be engulfed in it, but you have to get out and dry yourself off and let you like where does this come from? Like sit back and soak in it. Like allow the people that have been in these cultures to kind of like give you some game and like show respect, because you can't have a feeling and you can't have all this greatness without it coming from somewhere. So like definitely acknowledge like the past, like the culture for sure.
Yeah. So you've hosted highly polished strip nightclub sets, and you've hosted the Raw freestyle battles and Ninja Karaoke. What is the fundamental difference in the energy you have to bring to First Friday?
So, working on the strip professionally, like at places like Omnia, On the Record, the list goes on for me. Like I've done a lot of things. It doesn't really change that much for me because I get chosen to be at spaces because I can relate with people.
Yeah.
And because I can keep the party moving. Like it's, the MC stands for Master of Ceremonies. I'm saying, moving the crowd. So it's like you gotta do both of the definitions of the word. So when I'm in a space like Omnia, they know what they want me to say. So I'm gonna be the master of ceremonies, and then I am gonna move the crowd because I'm still that person inside the crowd wanting to understand why is this person standing up there with the microphone, and it's like because I'm representing us. Not only us as like Latino people, but us as party people that love music, that people that are trying to like have a night off and escape into just being entertained. We all watch, a lot of people watch movies, because they want to escape from their 9 to 5 and kind of like be the James Bond or see what the life is like in another like culture or state or space, or time in the world, right? So it's like, why aren't we doing that in the club? So that's what I provide. And every place that I'm at, I do successful because I understand some things that other hosts don't, which is like, you have to, one, make sure that the space is like making money.
Yeah.
And number two, make sure that the people are having a good time. And like, how do you do that without being corny, right? You do it by understanding like you're talking to yourself, you're talking to your family, you're talking to your friends. So you got to just kind of be real in that space. Even if you have a script, it's like, yes, I know I have to say all these things, like, the bar has the sale, whatever. But at the same time, it's like where are you from? Were you having some fun? How's everybody feeling? You kind of set the vibe, or you create the vibe. So definitely when it comes to hosting, that's where it doesn't change at all.
Yeah.
Now, as far as like a Ninja Karaoke compared to like regular dance events that I do with like kids, because there's two spaces of it. You have like an all ages event, and then you have Ninja Karaoke, which is 21 and up.
I've done an all ages event. You were there,
bro. I'm telling you, it's a different vibe, because it's like you have to be mindful of children, parents, and like the rawness of like the culture that's in the space that might not be so like approachable, right? So you have to kind of like give knowledge to the audience, but at the same time like toning down a little bit of the rawness, because you don't want to like scare them from it.
Yeah.
And plus you got to keep it PG. You know what I'm saying? Like, if kids are going to learn bad words and stuff like that, it can't be at a space like this.
It'll be on their phones.
It'll be from their phones, their parents, or the TV that they let them watch, right?
Yeah.
So it's like at Ninja, what's really amazing about Ninja and it being 21 and up is that like I get to be a little bit crazier with the things I would say. Like I would equivalent to like my stand-up comedy, like super raw. Like I grew up watching Russell Simmons, Def Poetry Jam, or the Comedy Jam.
Oh, dude, I loved all the BT nighttime comedy stuff.
Yep.
Def Poetry Jam on HBO was the shit.
Yeah, that and the Comedy Jam that he did was like crazy. Like, what is it? Martin Lawrence was like the host of that.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Before he was on his show. So like, and he was like crazy. So like, he would go places, and I grew up watching people like Eddie Murphy, Raw, like. And it's like the stuff that they would say, and it would relate to their family, And it's like when I'm in that space, it's like I'm really like transforming to like my grandparents' house, like with my uncles and stuff like that, because it's like all these people that go to First Friday are people that live here, that have families here, that aren't from here, and that are kind of displaced because of like trying to make money, or like just be in a new city, and like how things are it's a new start for them. So when they come to Ninja, they kind of feel like they're back home again, to me, just because like it doesn't matter what color, it doesn't matter where they're from. Like I'm always like every night, it's always like, bro, that shit was crazy what you said. Like, oh, like I totally agree with you. Oh, no, that, like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm still busting up from last time, and it's like, and it's beautiful because it's like it's the most rawest space I could be in, just because it's owned by Steve and Mommy, which are both dancers. Steve's actually from Las Vegas, so it's a rare thing to have somebody actually from Las Vegas to be that successful and own a company and not just stick to dance. Yeah. So it's really beautiful that he comes from a raw space, so he allows me to be raw too. So yeah, it's like it's a really beautiful thing. So
how did that partnership start over at Ninja back 8 years ago?
So 8 years ago, the first Ninja Karaoke that happened in November. Steve is an amazing b-boy. His partner, Mommy, is an amazing dancer. They're both from a TV show called
America's Best Dance Crew.
America's Best Dance Crew.
I know that shit.
Yeah, so like, Super Crew, and then even beyond Super Crew, Knucklehead Zoo. Like I've seen Steve like battle in like Los Angeles and Orange County before I even moved out here. You know what I'm saying? So like I've seen him get down, and then living here in 09, like I would see them more closely because their crew, it's either them or Full Force that are in the finals. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like for the longest time. So like I've seen his growth. And the thing is like this, when it comes to dance, like when you see somebody really going out there and putting it all on the floor and like not being afraid to battle, like, and you come from that same space, you feel like family because it's like, yo, we relate. Like I respect you. You like we eat the same food by battling. We listen to the same music. We eat the same food. Yeah. So it's like since we're consuming something the same way and we love it the same way and we like need it so much, it's like it's easy to support somebody like that. So when I went to Ninja, that first event, I saw him hosting, and then trying to work the bar and all these things, and I just went to him. I was like, "Yo, Steve," I'm like, if you need help, I got you, dog. Like, just let me know. And he told me, he's like, yo, bro, like, it's my my first year opening, we don't really have a budget and stuff like that. And I'm just like, I'm not talking about a budget. I'm saying, if you need help, I got you. So he put me on the second month. So when I started doing that, you know, he saw like how graceful I was with like giving my 100%, even though it wasn't being paid for.
Yeah.
And people don't understand, like, why would you do that and not get paid? And it's like, nah, dog. Like I'm seeing myself in Steve.
Yeah.
If I opened up a business and I had somebody that had a connection with me, like I should help that person the same way I would want them to help me.
Yeah.
So it's never really been about money. It's been about just helping your brother. You know what I'm saying? So like, and the cool thing is that since I started working with him, we're like family. You know, like I've been to his wedding. You know, I've spent time with him talking personally. You know, he values me in every like level of my come up for hosting.
Yeah.
And, you know, and he still honors me and like in the space verbally. And when it comes to like doing events outside of Ninja, he gives me the best deals without even me asking. And that's what we do for each other. Like people don't understand there's a culture currency that we need to like capitalize on.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes from a space of like honestness and like just pure love for the art, you know? Mm-hmm. So yeah, definitely that's how it started. Just me seeing him and seeing myself in him and wanting to help him like I would want myself to be helped.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys are too like that, because I've been going to these battles for like 5 years now, and I get that feeling that like I belong. I feel there. I don't dance. I got 2 left feet. The most I've ever did was like record dancers. I've always been around people that b-boyed. I've been always around dance teams because I've always had a camera. But with your event, 8 years is nearly like a century, to be honest.
For real, huh? That's crazy.
And every first Friday at 11 o'clock, people show up in droves. It could be a cold night. It could be, I'm looking forward to spring. I haven't been out recently because it's been cold, dude. But how have you been able to turn this battle into the unofficial official after party for First Friday?
So, you know, longevity works, you know, being consistent works. Like the one thing I tell people about living in Las Vegas is that the one thing you need to have and you need to offer the city is consistency. You know, you can be talented, you can be the most amazing person, but if you can't consistently show up, you're not going to have the longevity or like the gigs that you want. So like the fact that like Steve and Mommy have like really push forward on making sure that the event happens, rain or shine, or even if like there's issues with like weather and doing it the next week, and just being consistent even after COVID, like still doing the event and making sure that there's a space for people to go to. It's almost one of those things that kind of works for itself, because you don't need to think about what to do on a First Friday after you've gone, because you're going to go there anyway. Yeah. And then we have such a big reach and pull into our community that like ultimately people are like, oh, what are you doing? We're going over here. You got to go over here. Like it's word of mouth. Like we don't pay for any crazy advertisements like other people do. Mm-hmm. And I know the foot traffic from First Friday really helps, but the fact that we're consistent in showing like our love for the culture, giving a space, making sure it's free. An event like this is not free usually. Yeah, it's not at all. Yeah, even to enter is free. So that's another thing. So I feel like the reason why we're able to stick around so long is because we're consistently being real to the culture and showing up and creating a safe space for the dancers or people that love dance. Mm-hmm. You know. Yeah, I've seen it's pretty much you get like cirque dancers in there hanging out. You have people off the clock that normally wear Jabberwocky masks. Mm-hmm. It's a who's who of like relevant dance people. It's wild to me. I'll say this, like you know, it took me a minute to accept the fact that when Coco and I started posting up the videos, she puts the world's biggest dance battle, monthly dance battle, and I'm just like, oh, I don't know, like the world's pretty big, you know. But like now that I'm sitting into it more, it's like, okay, she is allowed to say that, because we have like a crazy roster of people that come into that building, and they're dancers for for industry people like Usher, Missy Elliott. You're looking at dancers that dance for, all the biggest Cirque du Soleil shows, like the most independent show and longest running hip hop show, which is the Jabberwocky show.
Yeah.
And it's and beyond that, we do get like some amazing like artists that come in there. We had Chief Rocker Busy Beats, which is like the original host for the original hip hop party in the world, like the MC's MC. Like he came in, and I was super nervous when he came in, Chief Rocker Busy Beats, because I'm like, wow, he's old school, he's different. And my boy Mr. Freeze, and he's like one of the pioneers of like having these type of events even in Vegas. And he's a really dope promoter, but like all around classic b-boy from the movie Flashdance and the World Rocksteady crew, Damn. And he comes in, he's like, yo, I got Busy in here, let's let him do something. And I'm like, okay, I'm a little nervous, like how's this gonna relate to people? And then I gave him the mic, I set him up, and bro, he started snapping his fingers and started doing his rap, and everybody's coming around, they're all starting clapping, and he's like, the call and response was amazing, and it felt like the closest I could ever get to being back in '79 when hip hop started. And think about this is 2025.
Yeah, that's
2025. The most original element of hip hop still works. The DJ, the MC, and the crowd being in one. And there was no like feeling of like this is old or like I can't wait till he gets off. People were just with him. He commanded like the crowd. Like he's a true master of ceremonies. He's a true mover of the crowd. Like it, and to be a part of an event that has this historic things like that come in, it's priceless, bro. Like there's no other event in the world that happens every month that celebrates all street dance styles that's as big as our event because of the most magical place that we can be in, which is Vegas, which draws in the whole world.
Yeah.
And the real ones really show up regardless of what they're doing, and it's beautiful.
Yeah. And I've noticed you've kind of switched up the format from event to event from time to time.
Yeah.
With March 6th coming up, let's walk us through it. It's the 2v2 Bonnie and Clyde edition. Why that format?
Throughout the years, so we've had the one-on-one, and that's the staple of our event. But, there's other formats of doing the dance battles where you have your regular 2-on-2, whatever the setup is. And then as far as the Bonnie and Clyde, it allows us to create space for women in the dance scene because in Vegas, it's a little bit different than anywhere else in the world because it's such an industry-driven space that once somebody gets of a certain age, even like kids 16-year-old, like are in shows. When you have women are such a huge commodity. So when you have a street dancer that's a woman, she's gonna be on a shore, she's gonna be touring or working at a club, like she's making money. Yeah. And so like we don't really get that big of a presence of women in the space. And then number two, it's like, battling itself is a very aggressive form of dance. Yeah. So it has a lot of testosterone in there. And some women don't really feel like comfortable in that space because it's so aggressive. So like this allows us to make room for women and to give women to give women something to look forward to because you get to partner up and it allows men to like create space for women too. It's like, hey, like you gotta like balance yourself out. And that's why women dancers are so great because it's like they can embody the feminine part of the dance naturally, and they can dance as hard as men can. Like seriously, like they can tap into the men's side like super hard if they want to. And so for us to be in a space where we get to celebrate women in a strong space too is like super beautiful. So like I definitely put it together just so that way my women can be like, okay, cool. Like I feel better about being here. I'm not on my own. Like there's more of me. Yeah. Like everybody wants to be somewhere where they're more visible, right? So yeah.
when you talk about the masculine form of dance, I flash back to who's that guy? He always has a mean face and he's like small. Is it Ultra?
Oh, you're talking Ultra, yeah.
Dude, your show, your battle, I've been to it so many times that there's people that I look forward to seeing.
Okay, so Ultra's one of them?
I love seeing Ultra. He just looks so fucking angry every time he does it.
You know what it is? It's like Crump has its own attitude, you know, and he's really good about like being locked in. And he's like, when it comes to dancing, he's a warrior, and then he's a big fan of like WWF and WWE, the whole wrestling world. So like he brings that element into it too. So he's definitely like one of our honorary like people. He's won the most events.
Really?
I think he's up to like 12 wins or something like that.
And you know what? I don't even think he smokes weed.
You know he doesn't smoke.
It's okay.
But the beautiful thing is that he has his like I think his family member does.
Yeah.
Or his mom or somebody. Sorry, mom, if you're not supposed to smoke weed, it's okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, but he gives it to her, which is really dope. So like, it still works out. Like he appreciates it, you know.
Yeah, and then the other favorite I have is Hat Maker. Me and my girlfriend love Hat Maker.
Yo, and Hat Maker's actually from Vegas too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like he's one of the young guys. He's one of the guys that when he turned 21, he came out to Ninja, and he just threw down and he's another person that's a part of the Jabberwocky, universe. He's one of the cast members that does a lot of the touring.
Yeah.
So like to see him grow not only in like the Vegas battle scene, but at Ninja is amazing. And he was on tour for like almost a whole year, and then I always make sure I make space for him because like I know him and his parents,
Yeah.
and his mom and them are like almost my age. So like when they come out, they like to party. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, bro, you need to catch up. Your mom's like, you're way behind.
Yeah.
But like her energy that she shows her son, and then just the way that he shows his energy towards the scene is beautiful. So plus he's a beast. It's like it's amazing to have him in there. And he's always evolving. Like he's still evolving. Like he started off more on the freestyle side, and then he jumped into the b-boy side heavy. And like him merging those two worlds, especially with the stage, with the stage work that he does with Jabberwockies, he's become like his own beast right now. Like he's a whole new person this year than he was the year before and the previous year before that, and when I first met him. So to see the evolution is really dope. So he's definitely somebody I love seeing enter the battle. Like, and then another person I got to shout out is is Jerome. Jay Noy. Yeah. So that's one of your Pinoy brothers.
Yes. I met him through my brief stance of like doing dance events.
Okay.
Yeah. He's friend. He used to be homies with my friend Matt. Yeah.
The thing about Jay Noy is that like he's another one that I met when he was really young, but he's the one that's embraced Ninja the most out of anybody because he understands that yes, the prize is not crazy, but the training is everything. So I sat down with him, and I was I always ask people to enter the battle, like, oh, what are you doing this Friday? You should come through. And some people are like on the fence about it. And he expressed to me at an event one time, he's like, man, you know what? He's like, I love going to Ninja because all the best dancers go there. You guys have really good judges, and it's free training for me. And now this guy is probably like the most dangerous person that you're ever gonna find on the dance floor because he utilized the space as a training ground. So he knows how to get a crowd's reaction when he's battling. You know what I'm saying? Like he knows the perfect times to hit things. He knows like how to manipulate that space, but still be honest to himself. Because at first he wasn't winning everything, but now it's like he gets really fired. He's either like the person that's gonna win, or you're gonna meet in the finals. So very proud of him, man. Like he's dope, and he can't even come to the event that much because he's touring a lot too.
Is he a?
He does do the Jabba show, but now he's gotten picked up by other artists too.
Yeah.
So he's gonna be working with a K-pop or a J-pop singer. So he's gonna be.
That's cool.
Yeah. And like one of the biggest things he did that I thought was really dope was like he was on the Pro Bowl series that was here in Vegas a while back.
Oh.
And it's so dope because when you watch the Jabberwockies, they allow dancers to be their individual selves, and you see like the people's moves if you know them outside of the Jabberwockies. You're like, oh, that's Ben Amar. oh, that's
Yeah,
you know,
y'all
Jay.
can. Me, no. Well, like, y'all can, because you see the language of the movement. Like,
Yeah.
you understand it. You understand people's styles and panache. But me,
Yeah.
I'm like, nah. They're all doing that one thing. They're popping, they lock in,
Hey,
they're breaking.
but you know what's cool about Filipino people is like if one person does it, they all like rally around them, and it's like you get that uncle and like grandmotherly and cousin, and like you guys are like a unit. You guys really support each other. So like I'm really happy for him because I know the like in the Philippines people are following him, and even somebody like Charlie Chill Out, which is like one of the biggest top rock dancers. Like I know in the Philippines people like mess with him heavy, and it's not only the people in the Philippines, it's like the whole scene because he's like the youngest, freshest dancer representing a dance style that's like probably the oldest out of all of them. It's like you have funk, and then you have popping, and then you have like the top rock, which is like the
Kicking.
yeah, like rocking.
Yeah.
And it's before break. It's like a little bit before breaking, you know. So it's like for somebody to be like in their late 20s, doing something super fresh, like you know, that's an old school dance and get received by the world like it's new, like in that new gen. It's dope. Yeah.
Kind of break down dance skills like fight skills, like disciplines of fighting. You know, like they kind of.
Yeah, it's like it's like certain things are like, oh, that's the old way of doing it, but guess what? The old way will still knock you out.
Yeah.
If you're not sufficient in anything, you know what I mean? Like sometimes you gotta hone in. You gotta pick a style and sit with it for a little bit.
Actually, so you're writing a book and building a course for 2026 on how to host. I actually would love that because I get anxiety from holding a mic in front of a crowd. Your first testimonial was literally Joe Coy. Since there's no YouTube for holding space, what is the number one secret you want your students to walk away with?
I would say this is something that you can train, but it's something that you need to live. So public speaking is basically the underground of it, like the base foundation of what you're doing. So like where are we talking in public? You know, we're talking to our families, our friends. You need to take that conversation and be as confident in that space as you are when you have a mic in front of you. So if you need to learn that first, and that'll kind of get you over the hump. So that's like the easiest thing I can tell you is like talk on the mic like the same way you would talk to your people, you know. And like I said, of course you gotta know where you're at, right?
Yeah.
You gotta know where you're at, your audience. But most of the time, if somebody's giving you a mic to talk, it's because they understand that you know how to convey that information to the people that are in front of you.
Yeah.
Like there's a trust thing that's happening, right?
Yeah. No, I've been on stage before and I had to speak for 10 minutes and then I froze. But luckily it was like a stoner event that was totally kind of super stonery. So
Yeah, you can fall back on that.
no
right?
one cared. No one cared at all that I messed up my lines.
In my profession as a host, I've been very fortunate to be around like the best of the best, and I've gotten pulled aside by the best of the best in my opinion, and given my flowers without asking, and so you know that's what encouraged me to start doing this book series. Right now I'm in the space of like gathering information. So you know I hosted in front of Joe Coy through Ronnie at the District dance studio that he has. He was judging like a category of a breakdancing event that they had like maybe like 20 categories. It was pretty fun, and he was doing like the most funniest move or like most funniest battle, right? And I'm hosting, doing my thing, and then Ronnie's like, "Yo, bro, he thought you were funny, bro." He's like, "Who's this guy? He asked about you." I'm like, "For real?"
Dude, I think you're funny as fuck.
Yeah, so I'm like, "Seriously, Joe? Joe's like the guy, right?"
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
he's a killer comedian.
Yeah, and so you know, I get to know his history more, knowing that he used to be a b-boy,
Yep.
he used to host events. So he comes out to the 29-year anniversary for Full Force, and he's there with his son. And you know, I've met him a couple of times before, and I just went up to him, I'm like, "Yo, man," I'm like, I'm getting like testimonials together about like what makes a good host. Would you be down? Oh yeah, I would love to. So me and my boy Odin's eye creation, we went to the back of the casino space and we did a video with him, and he said so much amazing stuff about me and how I host and what he thinks is important. And to have him be the first person to kick it off was amazing. So so I'm taking the information from people like him, people like Ivan from the freestyle session space, from, like even people that I mentor, like Jesse Sykes, and like people from Texas, and like all the way to New York. Anybody who's in this space of like hosting events, I'm getting their top 3 things that they think people need, who's inspiring them, so I can take their information and put it all together, so it's not just from my lens, you know what I mean? It needs to be from our lens, And like I said, I think that's what makes me powerful in spaces, because I'm not thinking about me, I'm thinking about us. So like, what represents us? Something that's going to resonate with me is going to be different through you if you're seeing somebody like yourself talking about it. Just because you see yourself, it's like rap music. It's like when you first see the Filipino artist, you're like, damn, dog, like we out here doing this, like we here too, like that's how I felt when I saw Cypress Hill. It's like, nice. Now I'm seeing rappers rap that look like me and my cousins, and they're saying stuff that I'm like resonating with. This is like, it's powerful, bro. It's powerful to see yourself in spaces.
Yeah. I just keep looking. I think back to when I first like discovered hip hop, and it was through my dad. And he was just playing like Tupac and Biggie. The fuck? Well, I was a 4-year-old. Why am I listening to this?
Exactly.
But I fuck with it heavy. It was one of my favorites.
Bro, I grew up with my brother playing the most hardcore NWA like 2 Live Crew. So it's like, and if I were to rap those songs on the bus, I get in trouble. Like, and I've gotten in trouble for like singing lyrics of like music that I got grown up listening to. Yeah. I go to the principal's office, like, what were you doing? I was like, I was singing the song by Silk, Knocking the Boots, or like or whatever in there. Like, he's like, don't do it again. And you could tell he's laughing because he likes that song too. Yeah. You know.
Ah, that's hilarious, dude. Yeah. Let's get into Nothing to Do LV. So between F1 and the Sphere, Vegas is leaning incredibly heavy into massive corporate entertainment. As a VP of Nothing to Do LV, how hard is it right now to keep the spotlight on the actual breathing local culture?
To me, I don't think it's hard at all, because regardless of what corporations do or what businesses are trying to do, there's always going to be people that have families that come from different cultures that are looking for their people. So we just provide a space where people can find their people and be seen. And it's like, it's beautiful that 2 streets that are dedicated to tourism bring in the economy and money and stuff like that allow this space to be what it is. Let's be honest, it helps out the economy. But what really keeps the lights on in Vegas are the energies of the people that live here. You can't have the Vegas neon lights without somebody building it. You can't have people on the strip without somebody facilitating it. So the señora that's like cleaning the restroom or fixing the rooms is just as important as the headliner Steve Aoki that's going on stage. You know what I'm saying? So so to me, it's like even Steve Aoki has to go get his hair cut somewhere. He has to go eat somewhere, and it's like we're all gonna be helping the natural like economy of the people that live here. So as long as people move here, and as long as people have families, you're always gonna have culture that needs to be seen. So yeah, it's easy for us.
Cool. You credit Coco Jenkins for keeping you grounded and reminding you that words have weight. As a duo building Nothing to Do LV, how do you decide what actually matters to the Vegas community right now?
Coco's amazing because, she's a partner that I spent time with. We dated for a long time.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's one of those things where we kept our public life different from our private, and it's like I respected her as an artist first. She's a beautiful woman. Her light's amazing, but like when I first saw her, I was like, you know what? Like I need to respect her the same way I respect like the homies that dance. Like I'm not trying to date my homie, you know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, she's a musician. She's really about the culture. Like I need to meet her like in the same level of like respect that I have for anybody else. But when you see somebody love something so much, and like it's hard not to fall for them. So once we started dating, she met me at a very young space of MPART. I was like 27, 30 years old, something like that. And it's like I'm in the industry. I'm like just having fun. I don't have any kids or anything like that. So like, and I come from a predominantly Chicano based family. So like the way you feel and think is different from how the world feels and thinks, And then, I'm Mexican, she's Black and Filipina. So she's representing like the Asian space. She's representing a Black space. So she kind of gave me the insight of like what that looks like. And then she's educated. She went to school at UNLV. So she has another elevated space of thinking. So like you have the street kid who's just trying to survive in this world of hip hop and being Chicano and like trying to like do the most what he can with what he was brought up with. And she just gave me another version of like how things can be, like another version of how things can be said, or another version of how people feel about what I'm saying. And it helped me really reflect. So like when I go out, it's like I'm speaking from a space of like, okay, women need to be seen in the space. Women need to be talked to a certain way in a different space. Like I need to be I need to be tuned in to like the differences that we have culturally and make sure that we're being represented in the space as well. Like, so she definitely keeps me mindful. And, and when it comes to this book that I'm trying to do, it's like, she's the one person that made me like, look at what I'm doing and like, oh, you know what? You need to really study. Yeah. You really need to like read things and like go deeper than just who you are. Like, there's a whole different side to this. Like there's an industry around this. Like you're not just the guy that's like making the party fun. You're representing like the people that walk in. You're talking to like the owners. You're like, I'm dealing with like micro racism all the time, like little words and things are like, oh, I don't know if we want these type of people here, or it's kind of getting dark in here. And it's something that's in the world, and it's like, okay, like how do we change that? So for me, it's like, she's reminded me that like art, you have your foot in the door because you're white passing. People feel safe with you, but how are you going to keep the door open for other people? So like that's what I do in spaces. Wow. I allow people to see our culture through the lens of us because they trust me. Like like these companies go like, oh, you seem really nice. Like like I can relate with you. I feel safe with you. And it's like, all right, now that you do, now you can see my people differently. And it's not because I'm being proper. It's just because I know how to showcase my culture and the beauty of it, and understand that yes, there's gonna be some crazy parts about it, but that's what makes it beautiful too. The struggle.
Wow. So she really is instrumental in your philosophy and how you host and how you impact people.
Yeah, and then the other part of it too would be like the music I listen to, the stuff we were talking about in the beginning. Yeah. I grew up on like some really crazy hip hop, and then as I got into high school, I started listening to like more like Mos Def, Talib Kweli.
I love that era of rap.
Souls of Mischief, the Far Side was a big thing that I like to listen to.
Oh, that music video where they're walking backwards. Yeah. Oh, I actually put that on one of my recent posts. The beat, that beat still is like playing in my head after all these years.
And it's music that makes you kind of be present, and it takes you on a journey, and it talks about how we want to be together and how we want to be seen, and how unified we are in this hip hop thing, you know what I mean? And so that music that I listen to kind of like really like put me in tune of like, okay, if I'm gonna say something, I need to be honest to where I'm at and to reflect what's going on in the world. So like definitely the MCs have really raised me as far as like being conscious in spaces, and I can't even end this without like giving props to Art's son from Style Elements, which is like another host. He's a native, Native American. So he was hosting all the events before I did, and he'd always take time to like acknowledge like his native ways and like how people are together. So like I pull from him when I'm in spaces as well. So like not all MCs like that rap are like just the only people that we can draw inspiration from.
So you've talked about, let me put that up. You've talked about Vegas getting a new wave of energy every 3 years. What cycle are we in right now?
Ooh, like I was thinking about this the other day, and it's like we're like in a whole new wave because we had a reset with COVID.
Yeah.
So it's like it's brand new for everybody. So it's like an unknown territory. But I feel like the wave is like awareness. So consciousness, like people being awake. So we had so much time to self-reflect and to kind of sit with ourselves where we're in a new space, like a conscious space. And before it was more like, you have groups of people moving to Vegas that shift how Vegas is ran. Because you know how it goes, like you get a new person that runs a company from New Jersey. So they're going to implement that style of doing things, right? So with Vegas, it's like everybody's brand new right now. And people are relying on like being open to new concepts because, people aren't drinking the way they used to drink. People aren't buying the way they used to buy. People aren't partying the way they used to party because a lot of the people are new to the space or have let it go. So now we're in a space of like taking in the energy and figuring out how to apply ours to it respectfully.
Yeah.
We have a lot of change that's happening. So there's a lot of growth happening. We're in a growing space.
So okay. So it's up.
It's universal too. It's everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. The green room questions. All right. So hosting takes a massive toll on your energy. Let's talk about how you decompress. Do you smoke before you host to get in the zone, or does that mess with your flow?
Okay, so me, I'm a very like spiritual person when it comes to like using cannabis, and I learned that over COVID too.
Yeah.
So it's like if I'm smoking, it's for two reasons. It's to go into a spiritual place and meditate and kind of like allow myself to explore the universe in that way. I'm very lucky that I'm able to do that with cannabis. And then the other one is so I can like fall asleep because like it doesn't matter what kind of weed it is, I'll fall asleep. Doesn't matter. They're like, oh, you want to do indicas, Tiva? I'm like, they're both the same to me.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So like that's what happens. And the last time that I never host while I'm smoking weed. That's one.
I wouldn't do it either.
Yeah, so like I just can't. But I was doing a cannabis bingo, and during that cannabis bingo they had infused drinks, and I'm like, you know what? I'll do a drink. It's like whatever milligrams it is, and it's like the drinks taste so good that I was like, you know what? I'll get another one. And then I was hosting and like I'm like calling the balls, like now we got G8 whatever, like or B5, right? And I was just like, and I grabbed the ball and I'm like, I paused for like a good, like I felt like a whole minute.
It happens, yeah.
And I'm like, hey guys, I'm high as you are, and now I'm back.
Happens, like man. Edibles mess you up.
Yeah.
Like drinking it's good. It gives you the feeling that you're drinking booze.
Yeah.
But like don't play like it's like you're drinking a beer.
Nah, not at all.
Even 2.5 milligrams, like it'll still kind of affect anybody.
Yeah, and I would do the halves, so I wouldn't even do like the full. But yeah, like, but in that space it was called for, and I wasn't driving and all that stuff. So like, I like to be really safe when I do stuff. So whenever I smoke, it's because like I'm in a spiritual space, or if I'm trying to sleep, and I'm never like driving anywhere because it's like I'm just too sleepy. You know what I mean? I need to like mellow all the way down. So yeah.
Have you ever crossed over into dabs?
No, I've just seen so much newbies not do really well.
Okay.
And the thing is like I'm very like simple in my smoking, or even like microdosing and stuff like that with like mushrooms and stuff. And I'm very a natural person when it comes to consuming.
Then you'd be a rosin person. You'd definitely be a rosin person because then they take the plant. Think about it like how you make tea. They put it in like a ice and water, and then they just stir the heck out of it with a ladle, and then they pour it into like a micron bags, and it sifts out all the terpenes. So then from there, I'd give you a rig, an e-rig, a small e-rig that literally looks like a nicotine geek bar. And you just drop a dab of it in there, and it's by far the best tasting way to consume cannabis. You don't burn the flower, so your lungs are totally fine. I dab before I work out.
Oh, for real?
But yeah, and you could do a little dab just to get that little kick.
But I'd fall asleep. I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna go work out, and I'm like stretching, and I'm just like stuck.
I usually have like a cocktail of like
you know what we should
pre-workout.
do is we should do me and you like a dab and workout session once.
Okay.
And then we'll see if I fall asleep or not.
Okay. I got Athena here. She's our dab queen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm down to do the experiment one day.
We brought this for you later, but that's entirely up to you. You don't have to. No peer pressure.
I'll save it for the workout.
So Rhythm Cannabis, shout out to them, and Green Dispensary is sponsoring the battle. We are providing the prizes.
We're super happy to have the cannabis industry be a part of the dance world because, so much people like put their bodies on the line, and then like to be a dancer, in theory, from watching it, is the most glamorous thing that anybody can see, because just to see people move their bodies like that, it's just so beautiful. But the struggle of like having to be a dancer, like the money's not always there, lifestyle's not always the best sometimes, and there's a lot of strain that goes on your body and then in your mental. So like I know that a lot of my dancers that do smoke, they're super happy for the plant because it helps them reset and it helps them like rejuvenate from being stressed out, or even like their joints and stuff like that. So like I think flower is like super important. I grew up with like it being very criminalized because it was, like all the commercials, right? Like she was fun until she started smoking, right? My friend actually did that commercial, my friend Monica May. So like that, or like this is your brain on drugs, with
the egg cracking.
The egg cracking. And
then best propaganda.
Yeah, and then like when you live in a house where everybody's kind of like, you need to listen to the law, you're gonna go to jail. Like they criminalize everything. I didn't even like weed for that because I didn't want to go to jail and stuff.
I've always liked weed because I just don't want to drink anymore. I just drinking just takes a toll on your liver. That switch in my brain that goes, hey, do whatever you feel like doing, turns on, and that's not necessarily the best with alcohol. So weed helps me slow down. It keeps me patient, and allows me to kind of just assess the situation before I just like open my mouth.
Yo, and weed parties are probably like the most chill environment you'll ever be in. Like if women understood how cool it is to just be in a party with weed versus like alcohol, the industry would be flipped. That's probably why they have all these laws, because they don't want to lose the control that they have with alcohol consumption. You know what I'm saying? So like, and then shout out to Coco, because Coco does her coloring book event every first and second Tuesday of the month. And you go in there, you get your coloring pages. And if you bring your own flower, you get flower. If like sometimes they have a cannabis company that promotes it, so they give out like papers and stuff like that. So it's a really beautiful space for people to like be able to smoke and being in a gathering without feeling weird by how people are going to interact with you because they're too drunk. Being too high is never aggressive.
True.
Being too high is never like too alarming for anybody. So it's a very easier interaction when it comes to consumption, I think.
Yeah, if you're socially awkward and you're afraid of like being quiet, don't smoke before a party, I would say, or just keep a chill amount of it. But I'm used to just being quiet.
Or even if people are quiet, that's better than you being too much. like you ask any woman or any person, they're like, how were they? Oh, they were really quiet. And they're like, that's cool. We gotta talk to them next time so they can open up. It's not like, oh, bro, they were being too much. They need to stop drinking forever. Like that's what happens. You see people drink once and they can't drink. They're like, no, you need to stop forever.
Dude, when I was in college, I went by Eddie, and then once I finished, I'm like, I'm Edvin. I don't drink anymore. So someone is watching this right now, sitting on the fence about coming to Ninja Karaoke this Friday. Look at the camera. What do you want to tell them?
Somebody on the fence about coming to First Friday. Don't be afraid to come and see how beautiful the city is, to see how vibrant it is, to see how you can fit in with even just being by yourself. Like it's a really beautiful space to connect with Vegas culture and some different things that you didn't even know existed. Yeah, definitely come out to Ninja Karaoke. feel the vibes, allow yourself to embody the person that's dancing, and have some fun.
Yeah, and you could leave with some rhythm or green cannabis if you are the winner. Finish the sentence. Las Vegas is.
Las Vegas is a movie. Figure out what part you want to take in it.
And give a shout out to Green Dispensary.
I want to give a big shout out to Green Dispensary for always showing love, not only to the Vegas culture, but to the dance community at Ninja Karaoke, and for keeping people in high vibrations.
And then where can people find you? And any other handles you want them to check out?
That's right, y'all. This is MPART. You can find me at Ninja Karaoke every first Friday, every Thursday at Boozy Bingo, and now exclusively at the F1 Arcade Bar for every single watch party that happens there. That's not like in the middle of the night, you know? So make sure you guys come check me out. And ntdlv.com, where all my events are going to be at as well.
Okay, perfect. That wraps up this episode of Highly Informed. Thanks for hanging out with me and Art, and catch you on the next one.
Peace.
Bye.